Oh, hi everyone, and welcome to DIY Crafts. So today we are going to be creating DIY string mountains on a piece of wood like this. I've already gone ahead and stained the wood and treated it, and I've added a few nails thus far. So what you are going to need some string. Embroidery thread works great. You're going to need a hammer, and we're going to epically fail at keeping the camera up today because it's not going to be an easy one. All right, so wood, string, hammer. You're going to need little wire nails. 1.5 inch or 3/4 work great. They're not very big. It completely depends on the piece of wood you are working with. So let's see if I can show you guys how to do this. So I've already gone ahead and put in a couple of nails. So my goal is to have one big mountain here. I'm gonna put another mountain from this nail up to about here, back down to this nail. And on the other side, I'm gonna go from this nail to here, down to this nail, and then put some mountains behind here. So I've gone ahead and put nails at the bottom 1 inch spaced apart. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna tilt you guys so you can see it hopefully a little bit better. All right, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to put a marker up here with my ruler. That is super helpful to have as well. So I want my next mountain to go from this nail to here, back down to this nail. So I'm gonna put my ruler behind here, and I want it to be a little bit lower than this one right here. I had a pencil in my hair somewhere. Okay, so what are you gonna do? You're gonna grab a nail and put your next mountain peak wherever you think it should go. Do you want it to be taller than this one? Do you want it to be shorter than this one? Totally up to you. So I'm gonna go, I think for the 7 inches up in reverse. I'm gonna make sure that that looks okay. Woo. And there we go. Yeah, a little bit lower than the one I have. So I'm gonna go ahead and just nail that one in. So now I have my next mountain almost ready to go here. So, got some nails down here, a nail up here. I'm gonna flip it over and make sure it looks okay. Sorry guys, I can't get my camera to kind of be where I want it to be. But I just wanna make sure that I am in the middle to the best of my ability here. Alrighty, there we go. So I have my next mountain approximately here. I want the one on this side to be the same height as this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and measure from here to here. From these nails down here to up here to make sure it's the same height as this one. So if I flip it over, I take my tape measure and measure from those bottom nails up about 4 1/4. So I wanna go over to this side, measure up about 4 1/4. And put a nail there as well. There we go. So now I have a nail here, nail here. And I'm gonna go ahead and start stringing these mountains, but I want to put in some snow peaks going on here. So when I do the snow, I want a nail, I want 4 nails here. So we're gonna go ahead and put those in after I make a bunch of noise. So another thing that you want, you'll notice my nails on this side are all different heights, and these are all the same height. I don't know if you can see that. So you want all your nails to be approximately the same height. So all these are way too high, these ones are perfect because I've already strung them, and these ones are still a little bit too high. But you also don't want to go through the board. So keep that in mind. If you nail too far in, you can always pull the nail out a little bit. Not the end of the world. So I apologize for the noise. Give me a moment. Alright, so now I feel good at all my nails are approximately the same height. So now, once again, I have a mountain here. It's going to go from this nail, and I'm going to cross over into these ones here, alright, for the mountains that I'm going to put behind here. But right now, I'm just working on these front mountains, the very first ones you see. So I'm going to have 3 peaks. They're all going to connect at the bottom. So I want a mountain to go from this nail up to here and back down. And I want a mountain to go from this nail up to here and back down. So we're gonna get stringing. Let's see if I can tilt you guys just a little bit more so you can see what I am doing. Here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. All right. So I'm gonna turn this to you guys. We're gonna go from this nail down to this one right here. So I'm gonna pick a color, any color. We're gonna go with this light blue. And as soon as I find the end, I'm gonna tie a string here. Just tying a general plain Jane knot. I'm not too worried about anything, so I'm going to cut off the excess right here. So go ahead, cut off that excess. And then you're going to go from this nail to the nail that your mountain is already on, and back up. And then the next one, and back up. And the next one, and back up until you have completely attached all of the nails to that one. So it looks like this. And once you have that, you're going to tie it off. And that is your mountain peak for this side. Alrighty. So I'm going to go ahead and tie this off. Just tying a loop here. Putting it through. And then I'm going to put this loop over that nail and pull it tight. Ooh. If my fingers weren't so fumbly. Note to self, when you do this, don't drink a bunch of coffee. Alright, let me try this again here. Pull it through, loop my nail, and pull nice and tight. Alrighty. And then just for reassurance purposes, I'm going to do that one more time just in case the first knot comes undone. You never know. And just loop it through again. Pull it nice and tight. And then we're going to cut that off. Now I need to do my next one. So I'm going to go on over to this string, and I'm going to go from this nail down to this one right here. So see how they're connecting at the bottom? So I need to connect this right here. So we're going to take another color of string. We've used dark blue. We've used the light blue. And now we're going to go, why not? Let's go for like a greenish color. It's a little bit different. So same thing, I'm going to start at this top nail. And I'm going to tie my knot. Ever so carefully. And I'm going to tie it again, just to make sure it doesn't fall off as time goes on. And then I'm just going to cut off all that excess. because we don't need it. All right, and then I'm gonna go from this nail down to this one, connected to my other mountain, and back up. And I'm gonna get all the string, not just some of it, and I'm gonna go down and back up and down. Hold on, technical difficulties. Sorry guys. Down and back up to all of these. I'm getting tangled. So this is a lot easier when you're resting it on a table, not holding it up for you guys to see. So don't fear, it's not as difficult as I'm making it look. I'm just totally incompetent today. All right, and same thing. So you're just gonna tie a knot at the top of this one right here. So I'm gonna cut off my excess, give myself some serious slack to cut this in, tie this in a knot. All right, so you do want it to be nice and tight, so pull that string nice and tight. Go ahead and make a loop. Put your string through. And get ready to pull it nice and tight, just like that. And then just for reassurance purposes, do it one more time to make sure you're not losing your string here. Pulling it nice and tight, and go ahead and cut off that excess. All right, so now it looks pretty cool, right? But I'm still missing things. I mean, I could leave it just the way it is, but I kind of like the snow on the top of this one, so we need snow. So I'm gonna flip this over. I'm going to take some extra nails. So I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of snow here. And I want to do the same thing here on this side. So I'm going to make 2 more marks. I'm going to put a nail here, right in the center of my string. So let me show you guys. I'm going to put a nail here, right in the center of my string, because that's where I want my snow to be. Okay, and then I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to put another nail in the other string. So right about there. And now I want my mountain peak to go, I want my snow to go up right here. I want my snow to go up right here. And I want my snow to go down right here. See that? So then I'm going to zigzag. I'm going to have snow go from beep, 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 beep. Okay, so let me just bang this in a little bit. Block your ears. Sorry guys, that is highly obnoxious. Alright, then, you guessed it, I'm going to take my white string, and in this case I have my silvery string, and I'm going to start from this top one once again. And push my strings down a little so I can get this white underneath it. Tie that in a knot, and go ahead and tie it in a knot one more time so you don't lose it. Alright, and this part gets me when I'm doing it right side up, so let's see if I can actually do it upside down. So I'm gonna go down to my first peak and over, and then back and up. And then I'm gonna do it one more time. No, hold on. I'm gonna go around that one twice and go back up. And I'm gonna go down to this one, sorry, to this one, and then back up. Oops, sorry, and then down, and then back up, and up again. Oops, oops, oops. And I'm gonna go down to this one right here, and then to the next one, and down and back up. You might need to push the string down because you're putting a lot on it. I'm gonna go down to this one and the next peak and back and back up. And then I'm going to go down to this one and come back up and then tie my string off. Okay. Cut off all your excess. So then you're just going to tie a knot up at the top again. Same spot we started is the same spot we're going to end. Pull it nice and tight so you don't lose it. And then reinforce it by doing it one more time. Alright, and then just cut off the excess because you don't need it. Alright, so now I have 2 peaks with snow, and I need to do the same thing to this one. I'm going to hold off on this one because I just want to show you guys how to do the back one, and then I think you'll get the gist of it and you can see the finished product. That way you don't have to hear me hammering away forever and ever and ever over here. Alright, so the peaks in the back are going to go behind these mountains. So ideally what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to start in the middle nail. So I'm going to go from this one up to probably about here and then come back down. So I'm going to do 3 and 3. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a nail, and I want my peak to probably be a little bit lower than all the other ones. So this one I'm going to put smack dab in the middle of this nail. So I'm going to take my ruler once again, because we like to align things here. Make sure my ruler is pretty straight up, and I'm going to go ahead and hammer a nail a little bit higher. What do you guys think? Probably right about there. Alright, so now what I want to do, I want to take a different color, and I'm going to put this behind these ones. Alright, so this is going to be a little bit difficult, but we're going to make it work here. So I'm going to grab a different color once again. I'm going to go with the darker color. I'm going to start at the top here. Tie it in a knot. Oopsie, hold on. Tie in a knot, and then go ahead and reassure your knot by tying it one more time. This is a very, very repetitive project. You're just doing the same thing over and over and over again. It's almost the definition of insanity. Okay. So, what I want to do is I want to go to this one. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this string and go ahead and slide it through. So I'm going to go to this one and go up and go back here. Alrighty. pull it nice and tight. So then it's behind these ones. I'm gonna do the same thing, except I'm gonna go through this one. And then come back up through here. All right, and same thing, I'm gonna go up, and I'm just gonna go underneath this one. Pull this string up. Up. Underneath this one. Go up. Make sure you're keeping your string nice and tight. And then the last one I'm going to do is this one right here. So I go 1, 2, 3 in, and then I'm going to go back up. And I got a good knot going on here. It always seems to happen, never fails when working with embroidery thread to totally get a big knot. I'm going to cut off the excess. I'm going to make sure this is nice and tight once again, so let it go a little bit. And there's my little tiny peak. Here it is. And I'm going to go ahead and tie this in a knot, make sure it's not going anywhere, secure it. Make sure it's nice and tight. And do it one more time, make sure it's nice and tight. Alright, and then I'm just going to cut off all that excess. So, there we go. I have a little mountain going on here, big mountains, big mountains. So now you can go wild and crazy. You can put bigger mountains behind here. You can keep going with putting bigger mountains behind here. You go ahead and you add as many or as little mountains as you want. Remember, if you want to add snow, go ahead and string it up. And then you want approximately 5 nails. You want a nail at the top and then some zigzags. You can do as little or as many snowy peaks as you want. It is totally up to you. Go for it, have a blast. If you do this at home, let us know. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you make something similar at home. See you next week.